everyone, it's Haley again. This will be my second video for Agape on Mission. I know my goal was to make it once a week, and that's still going to be my goal moving forward. But we had a little bit of issues with the last camera I was using, so I was trying to decide what I was going to take it on, computer, phone, I wasn't sure. I decided to go with the phone, so if it's not the best quality, just bear with me. But today I wanted to talk about the gospel. The main reason I felt the need to talk about this is because it's a word that's used all the time in the church, and it can be confusing the way that people are explaining it, and so I just wanted to clear it up, kind of give like a teenage definition, and just really break it down so that you understand what it truly is. And as you know, the gospel is something that we are called as Christians to preach about, and it's important to understand what it truly is. And so again, I'm going to give you the teenage definition, real simple. But so here's how it goes. As everybody knows, it first started out with Adam and Eve. And Adam and Eve were God's created people, and they were told not to eat the fruit of the tree, were tempted by the devil, and they did. And as soon as that took place, they were aware of their sin. As you know, they were naked, and right away you can see that they're starting to put up barriers between God. They had walks with God, conversations with God all the time, not feeling uncomfortable being naked, not aware of any kind of sin. And as soon as that fruit was eaten, they put on clothes. That's one barrier from them and God. They were then going and hiding from God, another barrier. And so as you can see, sin that's the initial showing of how our sin puts up a huge wall between us and God. And that He is the only one who can break that wall. And so going on from there, because of that initial sin, everyone is born sinful, and we are all sinful people. We all have sinful urges, sinful thoughts, and that's how it is. There's no perfect person. There's not any amount of work we could ever do to make that go away. That's the sin in everyone, the sin in the world, everything. And because of that, we were cast off from God, and He wants the best for us, and He could see so much good for us, even after that initial sin. And so God sent Himself as Jesus to take on all sin, not to just carry it around with you, or carry it around with Him. He became it. Hanging up on that cross, as He was being crucified, He became sin. And He died with that sin. That sin died with Him. And He overcame it. Sin was left dead, and He overcame that. He beat the devil. He beat sin. He beat death. We are no longer held to God's wrath as long as we put our trust in Jesus and understand that there's nothing we could ever do. There's no amount of works that we could ever do that could bring us closer to God, because there's nothing in us that's good without God. And yes, a faith with works is an alive faith. Now, a faith without works is dead. Now, that doesn't mean that those works are what lead you to that faith. It's that once you have that faith and fully accept this gospel and bring Jesus into your heart, those works come. And that's because you want to glorify God. You want to bring Him all the glory. You know that there's nothing you can do. And so we do it. We do the works for God. We do it to glorify Him, not for ourselves. And that's hard. It's not easy. It's a pride thing. Everyone has a pride issue where they want to be a part of this gift. They don't want to just accept it and feel like they had no part of it. And that's probably the hardest part of accepting this gospel. But that is the gospel. There's only one, and that's it right there. Jumbled up right there is that gospel, that free gift. It's up to you if you want to accept it or not. But I feel sad for those who don't want to accept it and feel that they need to do all these things and put so much pressure on themselves to meet a certain standard that they feel is going to help them in life. And it just comes down to realizing that there's nothing you can do. There's no one thing you can do to bring yourself closer to God. That's it. And I just want to leave off with two verses for you real quick. The first one is going to be from Galatians 1, verse 8. And this says, "But even if we or an angel from heaven should preach to you a gospel contrary to the one we preach to you, which is the story of Jesus and the way that we are able to go through God through Him, let him be accursed. So that just simply means that this world is going to give to you plenty of false gospels to follow to make you feel like you're doing right. And if it's not this one, it's not it. And the last verse I want to share with you quickly is 1 Corinthians 15, verses 1 through 4, where it says, "Now I would remind you, brothers, of the gospel I preached to you, which you received, in which you stand, and by which you are being saved, if you hold fast to the word that I preached you, unless you believed in vain. For I delivered to you as of first importance, which I also received, that Christ died for our sins, in accordance with the Scriptures, that he was buried, and that he was raised on the third day in accordance with the Scriptures." And that's pretty much the gospel jumbled up right there into one. Just simple, better understanding. I just want to make sure that it's clear that that's what the one gospel is. There's only one. And I'm hoping and praying that you guys who view are able to see that and are able to accept it, knowing that there's nothing you can do. And so I thank you for watching the second video. I'm hoping to come once a week. I'm hoping I have no more issues. But thanks so much for watching and sticking with me.